What happens when the R-vee you thought would carry your family for years?
RV shoppers today aren't just overwhelmed, they're terrified. And frankly, they have a right to be. That's why I asked nearly 200,000 RVers what they would do differently.
Starts falling apart after just one season? Right now, across campgrounds and storage lots, once beloved RVs are being abandoned or sold for pennies. The rigs that promised affordable freedom are vanishing from driveways, replaced by repair bills, water damage, and regret. And if you think this is just about cheap brands, think again. Even luxury diesel pushers are collapsing under hidden flaws. Which models are disappearing fastest? Why are dealerships warning buyers to steer clear? And if you're shopping in 2025, how do you know you're not next? Because once your RV value vanishes, so does your freedom to walk away. Forest River, Salem, and Wildwood travel trailers. There is something almost magical about that first moment when a family decides to buy an affordable recreational vehicle. The idea of pulling into a campground, lighting a fire, and building memories is powerful. For countless buyers, that dream took shape in the form of the Forest River Salem, or its twin, the Forest River Wildwood. These travel trailers were among the most common entry-level recreational vehicles in America. Shiny brochures promised comfort, light towing weights, and the kind of bargain sticker price that seemed almost too good to be true. For a while, the excitement carried families across the highways of the nation. But behind the excitement lurked a truth that would turn many weekend adventures into stressful repair stories. The Salem and Wildwood lines were designed to capture budget-minded buyers. At first glance, they appeared to deliver. The layouts were family-friendly, the finishes looked respectable in the showroom, and the weight ratings meant a half-ton pickup truck could tow them without much trouble. Yet within only a few camping seasons, a large portion of owners began reporting issues that stretched beyond normal wear and tear. Roof seals cracked prematurely, water intrusions spread quietly behind the walls, and floors softened underfoot after one too many rainstorms. What was marketed as an affordable gateway to freedom became, for many, a rolling collection of warranty claims. Dealership service centers quickly recognized a pattern. They saw the same failures again and again. Electrical systems were prone to short circuits, slide-outs jammed or failed altogether, and plumbing fixtures leaked in ways that caused unseen damage until the repairs became extremely expensive. Families expecting years of carefree camping were suddenly looking at repair estimates in the thousands, erasing whatever savings they had enjoyed by purchasing the budget trailer in the first place. Online owner forums grew into gathering places where frustrated customers shared photos of delaminated sidewalls, bubbled exteriors, and warped cabinetry. Words like "money pit" and "never again" became common refrains. The problem was not a single isolated defect. It was a collection of cost-cutting choices that all converged to undermine durability. Even loyalists who had once sworn by the Forest River name admitted that the Salem and Wildwood models of this era carried reputations they could no longer defend. Some buyers fought through warranty channels, but long wait times and denied claims only fueled the sense of betrayal. Others gave up and traded their trailers at a significant loss, unwilling to keep pouring cash into what felt like a hopeless cause. Dealers, seeing the flood of trade-ins, began quietly advising cautious customers to look elsewhere if they wanted longevity. What had once been hailed as the perfect starter rig was now regarded as a cautionary tale. And so, the dream of affordable camping turned sour for thousands who trusted the Salem and Wildwood badges between the years of 2016 and 2022. What began as optimism ended in disappointment, and many owners decided to walk away entirely. But the story does not stop there. If budget trailers left owners stranded, the next entry shows how even spending more money could not shield buyers from disaster. If you've ever dealt with an unreliable recreational vehicle or heard horror stories from friends, drop your experience in the comments below. And if this breakdown already feels eye-opening, hit that subscribe button. Keystone Cougar fifth wheels. Picture the moment when a proud new owner backs into a campsite with a gleaming fifth wheel behind the truck. For many families and retirees, that image was captured by the Keystone Cougar, a name that once carried a reputation for blending affordability with a hint of luxury. Buyers believed they were stepping into a dependable mid-tier recreational vehicle, something that promised the strength of a larger rig while still being manageable on the road. Yet what appeared to be a perfect compromise soon revealed itself to be a gamble filled with structural headaches and financial burdens. The Cougar series sold in enormous numbers during the years from 2015 through 2021. Dealerships praised its layouts, highlighting spacious living areas, family-friendly bunkhouse designs, and kitchens that seemed almost residential. The glossy marketing suggested this was the recreational vehicle that could handle cross-country adventures, long seasonal stays, and weekend getaways with equal ease. Owners rolled out of lots with high hopes, but within a short stretch of ownership, many began to discover weaknesses that could not be ignored. Frame problems became the most notorious complaint. Customers reported cracks developing in welded joints, sagging pin boxes, and suspensions that wore unevenly long before they should. Once a frame showed visible damage, the repair costs could run into 5 figures, and in many cases exceeded what the trailer itself was worth on the used market. Slide-out mechanisms also drew heavy criticism. Instead of smooth extension and retraction, they bound up, stripped gears, or leaked water during storms, leading to rotting floors and swollen cabinetry. Buyers scanning used lots in 2025 often find Keystone Cougars priced suspiciously low. That discount is rarely generosity. It is a warning flag. Beneath the polished exterior, hidden frame fatigue and water damage await. What appears to be a family-ready fifth wheel frequently becomes a financial disaster. Electrical systems added to the trouble. Faulty converters, unreliable circuit breakers, and inconsistent wiring created dangerous scenarios where lights flickered or entire appliances failed without warning. Plumbing was equally unpredictable, with fittings loosening under vibration and hidden leaks spreading behind panels. Owners described long waits at service centers only to be told parts were back-ordered, leaving their units unusable for entire camping seasons. Resentment grew louder on online forums, where photographs of collapsed suspensions and water-damaged interiors circulated widely. Seasoned mechanics began warning customers that a used Keystone Cougar was a project trailer rather than a ready-to-roll camper. Even dealerships that once promoted the model aggressively started advising potential buyers to consider alternatives if they valued long-term dependability. The shine of affordability no longer outweighed the stress of constant maintenance. Some owners attempted reinforcement kits, upgraded suspensions, or aftermarket slide-out repairs. While these efforts bought temporary peace of mind, the underlying weaknesses remained. Others simply cut their losses and sold at steep discounts, unwilling to shoulder the endless cycle of frustration. The very features that were supposed to inspire confidence, roomy slides, family layouts, and lightweight frames, became liabilities that defined the ownership experience. The Keystone Cougar fifth wheel stands as a lesson that clever marketing cannot disguise structural compromises forever. Between the years of 2015 and 2021, it left a trail of disappointed families and drained bank accounts. And if a mid-tier fifth wheel could cause this much financial strain, the next entry shows how even the most popular rental motorhomes became ticking time bombs for unsuspecting buyers. Thor 4 wins class C motorhomes. Step onto almost any rental lot or campground in America, and chances are you have seen the Thor 4 wins class C motorhome. Its boxy profile on a Ford E-Series chassis became the most familiar sight for families renting a recreational vehicle for summer vacations or first-time buyers testing the lifestyle. The promise was simple, affordable, practical, and easy to drive compared to the massive Class A rigs. For a while, the Four Winds delivered that dream of mobility. But as owners discovered after a few years of use, the cheerful exterior hid a mountain of costly problems. Sales soared between the years of 2014 and 2020. Rental companies bought them in bulk because of the low upfront cost and the ability to sleep 6 or more people without special licenses or heavy-duty tow vehicles. Families lined up for used units after the rentals cycled out, believing they were getting a reliable bargain. Unfortunately, what they were really buying was a coach that had already endured brutal wear and tear and a design that favored cost-cutting over long-term durability. Roof construction proved to be one of the biggest disappointments. Thin seals cracked quickly, leading to water intrusion that crept silently down walls. Once water entered, it rotted wood, warped panels, and caused mold that was expensive to remove. Many buyers discovered soft spots on their ceilings within only a few years, and dealers quoted repair bills in the many thousands. Plumbing presented another nightmare. Plastic fittings cracked during travel vibration, and leaks spread beneath showers, sinks, and toilets. By the time water damage appeared, the repairs were already major. For used buyers in 2025, the warning could not be clearer. Many Four Winds coaches flooding auction sites today are former rentals with hidden structural scars. What looks like a bargain with shiny paint often hides a ticking time bomb of water intrusion, electrical failures, and transmission problems. Electrical systems showed the same weakness. Inverters failed early, breakers tripped constantly, and owners battled with lights flickering or outlets that stopped working altogether. Add in the constant rattle of cabinet doors loosening, drawers misaligning, and furniture wearing thin after short mileage, and the interior quickly lost its charm. The fact that many of these units came from rental fleets only made the situation worse, since they had already been treated roughly by dozens of vacationers. Owners took to forums with frustration. Stories of transmission problems on the Ford E-Series chassis, particularly rough shifting and premature wear, joined the chorus of complaints about leaky roofs and weak interiors. It became clear that the Thor 4 Winds was built for initial sale volume, not for decades of dependable use. Some families poured money into reinforcement and resealing, but many others threw up their hands and listed their rigs at steep discounts just to escape the ongoing stress. By the close of the 2020 model year, the reputation of the 4 Winds had shifted dramatically. It was no longer the smiling entry-level motorhome, but rather a warning symbol across dealerships. Mechanics sighed when one rolled in, already knowing the list of likely failures. And if the most common rental motorhome in America could collapse under the weight of cheap construction, the next entry will prove that even luxury diesel pushers carrying prestigious names are not immune from catastrophic disappointment. Winnebago Journey Diesel Pusher. Imagine the thrill of climbing behind the wheel of a massive luxury motor coach, pressing the starter, and hearing the rumble of a diesel engine promising thousands of miles of effortless travel. For many retirees and cross-country dreamers, that experience came with the Winnebago Journey Diesel Pusher. It was advertised as the crown jewel of the company's lineup, a coach that married residential comfort with highway endurance. Buyers believed they were stepping into a lifetime of adventures wrapped in quality. Sadly, for those who purchased models built between the years of 2012 and 2017, the dream too often unraveled into staggering repair bills and endless frustration. The heart of the problem lay under the rear engine hatch. These coaches were powered by Cummins diesel engines, primarily the ISB and ISC series, paired with modern emission control systems. On paper, the technology promised cleaner air and improved efficiency. In practice, the diesel exhaust fluid systems, particulate filters, and nitrogen oxide sensors repeatedly failed. Owners found themselves stuck in limp mode on remote highways, crawling along at reduced speeds or stranded entirely until expensive parts could be sourced. A single replacement of a diesel exhaust fluid pump or filter assembly could run into the 5-figure range once labor was included. Compounding the misery were notorious slide-out failures. The very components that created spacious living rooms frequently jammed, cracked gears, or leaked when rain rolled in. Once water intrusion began, the damage spread into subfloors and wall panels. Delamination of fiberglass skins followed, turning elegant coaches into patched-up money pits. Dealers reported that repairing a failed full wall slide could consume months and drain tens of thousands of dollars, erasing retirement savings in the process. Inside the cabin, owners also complained of failing electronics. Touch panels that controlled lighting and climate stopped responding. Air conditioning units struggled to cool the large interiors, while generators logged constant service hours just to keep the basics running. Even premium furnishings aged poorly, with peeling upholstery and rattling cabinets undermining the sense of quality. What should have been a rolling luxury condominium too often became an unreliable workshop project. Resentment grew within owner groups. Online forums filled with stories of trips cut short and vacations canceled because the journey was sidelined in a repair bay. Many lamented that they had chosen Winnebago for its reputation, only to discover that the cost of keeping the coach on the road was overwhelming. Resale values fell sharply as word spread, and dealers began offering cautious advice to customers who once believed the Journey name guaranteed excellence. By the end of the 2017 model year, the reputation of the Winnebago Journey diesel pusher was scarred beyond recognition. It served as a warning that luxury branding and premium price tags could not guarantee freedom from mechanical catastrophe. And if the Journey left high-dollar owners disillusioned, the final entry on this list shows how even so-called premium family motorhomes could collapse into total financial disasters. We're almost at the #1 reveal, but before we get there, make sure you subscribe and tap the notification bell. Every week I uncover the rigs, trucks, and vehicles you must avoid before they ruin your wallet. Don't miss out. The next warning could save you thousands. Jayco Greyhawk Class C motorhomes. There is a certain pride that comes with pulling into a campground behind the wheel of a Jayco motorhome. For decades, the Jayco name carried weight among American families, suggesting durability, comfort, and affordability blended into one package. That sense of trust made the Greyhawk Class C motorhome one of the most popular rigs on the road between the years of 2016 and 2022. Yet what looked like the perfect balance of price and practicality ended up becoming one of the most regretted purchases in the recreational vehicle world. The Greyhawk was advertised as a step above entry-level units. It came equipped with leather seating, upgraded cabinetry, and family-friendly layouts that made long trips appealing. Built on the Ford E450 chassis, it promised the power and stability of a dependable workhorse paired with the comfort of a rolling vacation home. Buyers believed they were getting a premium Class C coach that would serve their families for years of memorable adventures. Unfortunately, reality turned sour almost as soon as warranties expired. One of the biggest recurring issues involved structural integrity. Owners reported cracking sidewalls, weak roof membranes, and delamination that showed up after only a few seasons. Water intrusion crept into seams and skylights, causing ceilings to sag and mold to form in hidden corners. Repairing such damage often ran into 5 figures, a staggering amount for families who had already committed large sums to ownership. Dealerships began noticing the frequency of these complaints and grew hesitant to recommend used Greyhawks on their lots. Mechanical problems joined the list of frustrations. The Ford chassis, though widely trusted, suffered from transmission concerns during these years, particularly harsh shifting and occasional premature wear. Combine that with constant electrical gremlins, lights flickering, air conditioners drawing excessive power, control panels failing, and owners were left juggling multiple service visits each season. The very motorhome that was supposed to simplify travel became a machine that demanded constant attention. Interior finishes also betrayed the promise of premium quality. Upholstery peeled after short mileage, drawers misaligned, and slide-out mechanisms squealed or failed outright. Families expecting residential comfort found themselves dealing with constant adjustments and repairs. The reputation of the Greyhawk shifted quickly in online discussions, where posts warning prospective buyers gained momentum. Owners described pouring thousands into repairs while watching resale values plummet year after year. The emotional toll weighed heavily. Families who had envisioned summer road trips or retirement tours found themselves second-guessing every turn of the ignition key. Some traded out early at major financial losses, while others were stuck with rigs worth far less than the loans they carried. By the end of the 2022 production year, even dealerships were blunt in their warnings. Trade-ins were worth little, and new buyers should approach cautiously. In the end, the Jayco Greyhawk Class C motorhome became a cautionary tale. What was once marketed as an elevated family adventure coach transformed into a burden that drained wallets and patience alike. And so this final entry proves the ultimate point. When it comes to recreational vehicles, brand reputation and flashy features mean little if the foundation cannot deliver reliability. You've now seen the 5 recreational vehicles owners are dumping in 2025, and why skipping this knowledge could cost thousands. If this breakdown saved you from a bad decision, hit like, share it with a fellow traveler, and subscribe right now. More hard truths are coming. Don't miss the next one.